We are live. Welcome, welcome. My name is Nadine Knecht. You may know me as Embroidery Mom, and I am so excited today to be here to show you everything around me. And what's even more exciting is that everything I show you today, everything, if you own an embroidery machine, it doesn't matter what brand it is, it doesn't matter how big your hoop is or small your hoop is, you are going to be able to create the things that I am showing you. Now, the only limit that you're going to have is, of course, the size of your hoop. But it's exciting when I have the ability to work with all kinds of Embroidery Mom members that own all different types of machines. So the projects today are going to be working with line art. Now, line art could be clip art. It could be things that you draw yourself. We're going to show you all different resources for where to get your art and how you're going to be able to easily, quickly, I say minutes, but it's really seconds, that you're going to be able to create your own designs. Literally, I promise you. So if you are tuning in live, please say hello. We have Amy also. She's running the whole show in the background. So we'll toggle back and forth a little bit between me and the screen of the machine. Today, I'm working on the FOF Creative Expression 750. Now, this is a new machine in the line. I love it because it's portable. So I'm down here in my dining room, and it's just so easy for me to take that machine around the house. I travel with it. It's got a lot of top of the line features, and I'm not moving my giant machine. So it's great for travel. It's great for second machines, and I thought it would be fun to work on it today. It's very visual, but again, whatever machine you are working on at home, you are good to go with what I'm going to show you today. So you can you see my bling here? We're going to be designing this and creating this design from this piece of paper. I just drew this little spider web on a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper. And I brought it into the free app and the free software, and I'm going to show you about that. Super simple. And then this, I mirror imaged here. This is the design that I created. I created it with silver metallic thread. I also just got a spool of glow-in-the-dark thread. This will be what I will be stitching my next spider web with. And of course, my spider, my little pin here. Okay, best $9 I spent in a long time, fun and blingy. So I've got a spider, wrong side. I have a spider over here also and some heat fixed crystals. But I'm telling you, I drew this on a piece of paper. I sent it to the machine in about 30 seconds. I had this design ready to go. Now, if your machine is able to resize or rescale, that's even a lot more fun, because no matter what size design or drawing or clip art that you are using, you can resize it right on your machine. So this came in much smaller, and I'm going to show you that on the screen of the machine as well when we get to that point. But all the things like this is the first project in our Create and Conquer, our new classroom. And you can see here that there's a hummingbird on here with some metallic paints, some art sticks, heat fixed crystals, some art glitter, and that's added to the back of our denim jacket. And I mean literally seconds from the drawing or the clip art into the machine and into my hoop. So I'm going to show you lots of variations of what you can do with line art, because it's not just putting it on a garment. We're going to be doing some dimensional things. Again, now, before we head into this, I'm going to tell you that I want you to completely forget everything you don't know about software, or you don't know about the Photo Stitch or the Creativate app. Forget about it, because we're going to super simplify this. I'm also going to, hopefully by the beginning of next week, I'm going to have a free video for all of you. Okay, I'll post it in Embroidery Mom. We can possibly get it on YouTube as well. And I'm going to show you step by step how to set it up, whether you're an Android, an Apple, a PC, a Mac, step by step, how easy this is. And it doesn't matter what machine you have and what file format you're working in. We're going to take care of you, and I'm going to get this video out so that you can do some of these ideas that I'm showing you from the fabric collage, which is in the back of me here. I have a lot of projects. I have a new workshop coming out for that. We'll talk about that later. So line art, where are we going to get it from? We're going to draw it. We are going to, again, here's another just quick drawing that I did, doodle it. We are going to print it off of a clip art site. Great clip art, great designs, especially for collage. Tattoo patterns, believe it or not, okay? Stained glass websites and patterns are great resources for clip art. Coloring book pages, things that your children or grandchildren have drawn, things that you can trace. Now, it doesn't matter if you print it on a piece of paper or you take a picture of it with your phone and screenshot it. It's so simple to get it into the app, and I'm going to show you how to do that too. So let's go into our trunk show just to get you all excited and hooked on this, because I'm a collaging fool right now. I am so loving the freedom that I have by using simple clip art designs or simple drawings or doodles and then transforming them into an embroidery design. And now it's my pattern. I don't have to purchase any patterns that are quilt books, and although you certainly could use those just by taking a screenshot picture of a pattern that you may own already and bringing it into the app and automating it. And I'll show you what the automation of it does. Okay, so we're going to start with our trunk show. We have a couple of free gifts for you when this is all said and done. I'm going to give you a code. And I'm going to tell you what the gift is right now. The gift is this spider web. I mirror imaged here. So I'm going to be giving you this spider web. Okay, let me just, this is the curved edition to go around a crew neck. It's all done for you. It's done in all file formats, all machine languages, if you will. So you can download this and stitch it out. I also have a little video for you on just a really fast, easy way of putting a neckline in a hoop. I'll have that out for you next week. So you're going to get this design. This is the size of it. And you're also going to get this design, which is the straight version of it. So if you want to put it on a V-neck or you want to put it on a cardigan, and I will tell you, in Embroidery Mom, we had this, the last few months, we had this series called Off the Rack. And what it was we would go into our, well, you know, you get them all the time. They pop up on Facebook. All of the merchants and retailers, well, these pop-up ads come up. Well, embroidery on garments is huge. So we started this off the rack series where you could, I would post on a regular basis and I would give credit to whether it was Chico's or Talbot's or an online merchant. We would give credit to where the design or the inspiration came from. And somebody posted a sweatshirt that was done with this similar spider web, not the exact same thing, but the whole idea of it around, and hers was on a V-neck. And she posted this, and I thought, oh my goodness, that would just be the easiest, fastest thing ever to create in photo stitch. So I did it in, like I said, I drew it on a piece of paper. I took a picture of it with my phone, brought it into the photo stitch, boom, it was done. Made a design out of it. And I'm going to show you how we're going to do that when we pan over to the screen of the machine. So that will be your free gift. I'm going to give you the code in a little bit, but that's going to be what you're going to be able to download is this or the curved version. I'm looking at myself, so I keep pointing to the wrong side. And then we're going to show you how easy it is to place them on your garment, on your neckline. All right, so now let's just talk about some inspiration and project ideas. So if you tune into Embroidery Mom or some of the classrooms, this is an acrylic stand, and it is a sewing organizer, table organizer, where we've done all sorts of things along the bottom. But I did this flower and brought it into the photo stitch. Now it's colored with colored pencils, basic school grade colored pencils. And then I blended it with some textile medium. And I want you to pay attention to this little leaf here, because I'm going to show you in a little bit where that leaf came from. But it, again, was done very quickly in photo stitch and brought in, and it's an embroidery design, and then I colored it. Okay. So we're going to come back to this with another sample in my pile, but quick and easy. I needed something for the background. And the other thing too is that these designs stitch so quickly. So you really can be quite productive. So that's our little tabletop organizer workshop, but that's one of the things we did was using our photo stitch app to create a fast design. Okay, so because we are in fall, I'm going to start out with some fall project ideas. And these are simple clip arts, coloring book images. Again, easy stuff. And you can see they're in multiple sizes. So easy to resize. And I'm going to show you how to do that too. And again, this is stuff that you can color. I'm going to just show you quickly how we took a bunch of the smaller leaves. We brought it into like an encore or shape creator and created this really fast stitch out for these leaves, and then did some coloring on the inside. Let's move these out of the way. But if I go back 10 years ago, probably, maybe, yeah, because Embroidery Mom is starting its 10th year. So this does go back 10 years. And this was a design, and I wish I could give credit to this. It's so old, but these are leaves that I embroidered. Now these have some satin stitching in them, but just to give you some inspiration, these were done just randomly stitched all over black Kona cotton. And then we took the stitching and we added some cleaning solution. This is soft scrub with bleach, and we painted it on the designs and let it sit or let it dry as long as you want. The longer you leave it, the lighter the design will be. This is it washed out. And so we just colored it in and then rinsed it out. And that's what created this bleach effect on this black Kona. Now, just as a word of advice, I would definitely do a test run. This is some brown linen that I did the same technique to. And I got these wonderful pinkish flowers. So do a little test run on your fabric to be sure that it's going to come out. Now, certainly colored pencils are going to be what I will do to transform my pale pink into, into a little bit more fall things. But again, easy linen, your natural fibers. And when you're doing your bleach technique, you want to be sure to use a polyester embroidery thread, because that's not going to bleach out. Okay. And we talk about inspiration coming from years and years ago. I love raw edges. Some people, they just can't do them, and I get it. It's okay. But this was probably maybe 15 years old, maybe longer. And these are just leaves. Oh, I'm upside down. These are just leaves done. And these were appliques. So I just did the outline. It's not the satin stitch part of it. And then, of course, I did all different fonts and stuff. But that just shows you how long ago I've been playing with line drawings and not having the unbelievable opportunity for, the creative aspect of things like we have now with this app. Okay. If you have questions, post them for me, because Amy will read them and I will have an opportunity to answer them. If I get going and I ignore Amy, no, I wouldn't do that. But if I get going too much and I'm trying to fit a lot of information in my 1 hour, as you know, I will come back and read the questions and answer you in the post. So please say hello that you're here and feel free to ask away, okay? This I just wanted to show you because these are school grade colored pencils before textile medium, and this is blending with cotton swab after textile medium. And then I added a little bit of art glitter on them. But again, this was done in photo stitch, where I just brought the image in and sent it to the machine. And I'm saying 30 seconds, right? Quick. And here it is, just stitched on black to show you what the original design was. All right. Let's see. I don't think we did that. I don't think we got to this yet, but this, if you were to take your line drawings and you were to stitch them on felt, craft felt, wool felt, something that isn't going to ravel, and then you would put them all together, you could make this table runner using photo stitch leaves. Easy stuff. Now, you could take your largest hoop or your littlest hoop, depending on what machine you own, and fill your hoop with all different leaves. Or just, do your multitasking and put in all your different colors of felt in your largest hoop. And then it's a quick technique. Then I just took some monofilament thread and laid them out. You can certainly use a little bit of fabric glue, or you could put some put it on sticky stabilizer, and then use your bar tack and tack them all together in the shape that you would like for your table. So this is a fall table runner, easy peasy. Designs can all be done in photo stitch. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about, I'm going to head over to here. When you are looking for your designs, this is, I printed this out on my computer printer. I wanted a bicycle because I wanted to fill it. I wanted to embellish it with leaves and flowers, on the front, on the handlebars. So this is my image. When you bring this, and again, this is printed from my computer printer. I took my phone and I took a picture of it, and then I brought it into the app. All right. And here's all the different stitch outs, different sizes that we did. Here is my project. This goes over an arm. This is my little pin cushion. I've got little pockets here. So here is my bicycle on my pocket. Okay. Over here is just a real simple line drawing that I did that I wanted to just add some built-in leaves and flowers for. So again, I drew it on a piece of paper, took a picture of it with my phone or tablet, whichever, done. Here is also my signature. And again, I just want to show you this. I was playing around. So I did different signatures, rid of that thread, different signatures, even did a little satin stitch signature on there. So again, if you can take a picture of it with your phone or your tablet, you can create all of these things easy. So that is just, like I said, simple drawing. Okay. We're getting to it. Now, the other thing you can do also are appliques. So I wanted some bat applique designs. And in all my collection, I don't have any bat appliques. So I went ahead. These are just raw edge bats, which is what photo stitch is going to do. It's going to do a line art design for you. I was able to resize them very easily. Now, if I want to, I could take them over to my sewing machine and use my satin stitch for applique, and I can go all the way around the edges with it. So I've created a pattern in the exact sizes that I want. And if I want to leave them raw edge, wonderful. If I don't, I take them right to the sewing machine and I do my little satin stitch all the way around the edges, because the line, let me flip this over. You can see here, that is the back, right? And I'm just trimming it like you would any other applique, but my pattern, boom, is done for me. So the same thing, I have a drawing of a rose, and I thought, all right, I'm going to do the photo stitch thing, but then I didn't want the raw edges. Okay, and here's the same flower. This has not had the satin stitch around it yet, but I also put a piece of batting underneath it. So it makes it a little trapunto-like. And now I'll just take it to the sewing machine and I will match my thread and I will just stitch around the raw edge of this. Okay, the back of it, as you can see. Same drawing. It's just a drawing that I brought in. Now I'm also going to take some colored pencils and I'm going to shade this. And I'm just going to draw with my colored pencils. I'm going to take my textile medium and I'm just going to color it in. And I'm going to make this, this is like a hand-dyed sort of a batik, but I'm going to add some extra colors and interest to it. And I'll post an after picture. I just stitched this out this morning. So at any rate, do we have any questions, Amy, or should I stop for a minute, take a pause here?
I think this is actually perfect timing because we've had a couple of questions about some of these techniques. So the first one is, when you are using the soft scrub bleach technique, do you need to pre-wash your fabric?
Well, I'm of the theory that if I'm creating something like this, I'm likely not pre-washing my fabric. If I'm going to be laundering the project, then I will pre-wash before I make the project. But will not washing prohibit the effect or in some way affect the effect that you're getting? I've never found that. And everything I'm showing you, I guarantee you I was preparing for a workshop or a class and did not pre-wash. So I don't find any effect. In fact, the jacket here, I actually did, this is when you're doing denim and you have a mix of fiber content, like this is cotton with some polyester in it, it's going to resist bleaching as fast. So this took multiple coats, but I don't attribute that to the sizing on the fabric, if you will. I contribute that to the fiber content. So the answer to that, the short version is I don't find pre-washing will affect the effects you get from the bleaching with the cleaning product.
All right. So the next question is, people are wondering a little bit more about what exactly is textile medium and how do you use it?
Okay, textile medium, of course, I don't have a jar down here. You don't need a lot. A little bit goes a whole long way. You can find it in your craft stores, typically in the acrylic paint section. It's very inexpensive. Art stores carry it. I know our Michael's craft store carries it. Of course, Amazon carries it. If your dealer's into art quilts and such, they may also carry it, but it's very inexpensive. I'll put a link up over in Embroidery Mom and give you, I actually have a full collection of links of things that I've used. And again, check your local stores. Of course, we always want to support local, but it's just, it's sort of white in color and it looks like almost like a glue, but it isn't. It's very flowy and you just blend everything with a cotton swab and it's spectacular. I'll do a demonstration and I'll put it over on Embroidery Mom and show you how easy it is. It'll be like a 1-minute demonstration, but it's simple. And like I said, the paint sections are usually where you find it, the craft paint sections.
And I have one more question. I think people are getting confused about where to find photo stitch. Can you talk about the Creativate app a little bit?
Let's do it. Okay. We've got the way that we are creating our designs. We're taking a picture. Now this is a printout from my computer printer. What I find, if you're familiar with taking a screenshot, you are just going to be able to do that on your phone or your tablet. So why don't we now take a break before we go through all the rest of the projects and show everybody what we're talking about. So it makes a little bit more sense. I think that's perfect timing. I get too excited about everything I have to show you guys, okay? All right, so point to this machine here. Okay, great. I thought I was frozen, but we're good. Okay, so here we are. I am in the embroidery screen. I'm just going to move this a little bit closer. And I'm in my regular embroidery edit screen. All right. Now, I'm going to be sending the design over to my sewing machine. If you do not have a Wi-Fi enabled machine, it's okay. You're going to be able to do this exact technique, and I'm going to show you how. But I'm just going to pull this away a little bit. I am going to bring this over so you can see my iPad. Excuse me. Now, this is going to be the same if you're working on a phone, too. I just wanted to do this because it's a little bit of a bigger screen. Okay. So we are in our Creativate app, and I'm just going to select embroidery. Now, I'm working in the free app. So this is what everybody's going to see who downloads the free app. I'm just going to take a drink here. Okay, so you'll download the app in your app store. And again, I'm going to create a video for you that's going to give you step-by-step. I'll post it in Embroidery Mom on exactly how to set this up on your devices at home. But this is the free app. I'm going to go into embroidery. This is what you get in embroidery. These are the 3 things that you'll see. And I'm going to go into photo stitch. Now here it's telling me I can take a photo or I can bring something in. Now I'm going to bring in a photo. And we can see here I've loaded this with, there's my spider web. I took a picture of that piece of paper I showed you. And I brought that in from my camera roll. So once you take a picture with your phone or your tablet, it shows up in your photo roll, your camera roll. So now I'm going to come here and I'm going to change this to line art. All right, now here it is. This is the design. Now, if I have a Wi-Fi enabled machine, I will send this to my machine. Okay, it's connected with my Creative Expression 750. I'm going to select it. It's telling me now my design is sent. We'll take a look here. I'm going to zoom this in. There is my spider web. All right, now, before I get into all the things you can do with that spider web, let's back it up a minute. We're going to come back here and we're going to talk about, I use the send arrow to send it to my Wi-Fi machine, but let's say you are working on a FOF 7570 or you're working on a Brother or a Baby Lock and it's 10 years old. If you have the means of getting designs on your machine still, no matter how old your machine is, then you have the ability to send this to the cloud, okay? And you will set up a free account on your computer, Mac or PC, doesn't matter. You'll set up a free account and you'll be able to send this design over there. And then I'm going to show you how to convert that design into your PES or your JEF or your SEW, whatever format you're using. Simple. I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm not going to do it here now because I want to give you step-by-step instructions and I want to cater it to what phone and computer you're using. But that's how you get it to your computer or to a USB stick. Now, how you get the design from your USB stick onto your machine, you probably already have that established because you've been doing it. It's no different. It's no different than taking a design off a website or taking a design off a CD-ROM or a USB, wherever your source is. If you can get designs on your machine, you can do this. Simple. Okay, so let's just go back to here, and I'm going to go back into my photos, and I'm going to, let's do this flower here. Here's my flower. There's the design. It's done, ready to go. Send it over. pick it, whether I send it to the cloud or I send it to my machine. Here it is. We'll just move this out of the way. Okay, here's my flower. And I'm going to give you some tips and tricks for, the more white background is around your picture when you take it, the smaller it will come in. But that never worries me because I can go right into here and I can resize this. Okay, so I can just go ahead and bring that in as big as my hoop or as little as my hoop. Okay, I can resize this. It's going to recalibrate my stitch count. Now, whether you're recalibrating or rescaling, again, because you know your machine and what you're doing and what you can fit in, but I'm able to easily resize this. And you likely already are familiar with resizing things because you're doing it now within your own machine and your own software. Okay, so we'll just check this, bring it in, and now here's the size of my flower. Okay, so that's just how simple it is. Now I'm going to show you another trick. We're going to go back over here and let me just X out of this for a minute. And let's say that I want this flower and I want to stitch it on the edge of a project. And I've got some samples. I'm going to show you some projects in a short bit. All I have to do here is go into my eraser. And let's say I want to make this half a flower. Okay, and I'm just going to erase this half here. Now you can do it with your finger. If you have a pencil, an iPencil, you can do it with that as well. But you'll be able to just erase this other half here. And you'll be able, let me just get this here. Never goes as fast on camera because your fingers are sweaty as it does when you're working alone. But you get the idea here where I can just erase this. And now I'm going to make a flower that's on the edge of my quilt block. It's on the edge of my runner, my wall hanging. It's along the seam of a denim jacket. There's times when I'm going to want just part of design, half a design. Maybe just the hummingbird's head, not the whole body. Okay, so there we go. I'm just going to hit OK. I'm going to send this over so you can exactly see on the screen what I'm talking about. Let's get this out of the way. So here it is, right? Here's half. And again, of course, I can always resize and rescale this. But this is going to allow me to bring that right up against an edge of a garment, of a seam, like I said, any of your quilting blocks, quilting projects, easy stuff. Okay. Again, this is all free. This app and everything I'm showing you is free and will work on all of your machines, which is so exciting. Okay, let's head back to the other screen. We're going to come back here. Okay, are we good, Amy? Can I keep going?
Please clarify for everybody that the app that you are using is called Creativate. If you already had the My Sewnet app, the name changed. Some people had asked about, they originally had Image Stitch, which is the old version. So everything that used to be Image Stitch or Creator Q, these things have all now been rolled into the Creativate app. We've had lots of questions about that.
Absolutely. So basically, you just said everything in a nutshell. A lot of the stuff that I'm showing you was done in Image Stitch because that's what I used when it was Image Stitch. And now you're using the Creativate Photo Stitch. But what I think is so awesome is that it's so universal. And, it's, and I said this at the beginning of the broadcast. I want you to forget everything you don't know, everything you think, it's because we're going to simplify it. We're going to make the setup of this so easy for you. And I'm going to do that in a video for you to show you that if you already have a subscription to Creativate, you're ready to rock and roll. If you have the free version of Creativate and the app, you're ready to go. If you don't have anything yet, I'm going to show you how to set it up, and you'll be able to set it up at no cost. And you'll be able to convert it to your own language, machine language, at no cost. So that's what's exciting about it, is all the things that you can do. And then if you're, I'm going to be totally honest here. I spend so much time and loving it, creating and designing to show off what I can do just on the machine. So I'm a project designer. I design everything that I'm showing you. I design all my classroom things. I design. So I spend 99.999% on the screen of that machine. So if you were to email me and ask me how to do something on the software, I would have to dig, because I'm so excited about what I can do right on the machines that I'm not savvy in that. So when I tell you that all these things can be done by someone who is software clueless, I mean it. I truly do, because it is something that, when I'm going to teach something, I approach it from the angle of someone who knows nothing. And that's important to me as a designer too. When I design things, it's like, how many things can I sneak in here to teach them about the machine and to teach them about technique? And I don't do that in software. So I'm going to show you how easy that is to set up. How's that for the short version?
We do have one other question. Well, it's come in a couple of times. People asking, when they bring in their picture, somebody said it looks like gobbledygook instead of a nice, neat lines, like it looks on yours. Like, can you show that on your screen? Like, sometimes when it comes in and it looks all squiggly, the difference between the scatter and the line art, I think that's coming in under scatter.
Well, so, and that absolutely does happen. I'm going to show that, but I also before I do that, I want to clarify one thing. When you're downloading, and I've got some don'ts here, right? You're looking for simple, and you're looking for lines that are, this is the thickest I would ever go. And I guarantee you, this little black thickness down here, I'm going to have to scan that in and out, and I'm going to go over to the screen of the iPad in just a minute and show you. But just because this is clip art does not mean it's suitable for line art. I don't want all of that heavy ink in there. I want things simple. Okay, so when you're looking for clip art, which is also like stained glass art, stained glass patterns are great for this. Coloring books, think those images. And I even had somebody suggest tattoos, because they are very simple line drawings and images. So let's head back over to the iPad, Amy, and I will clarify that. Okay, so let's go. We sent that over. Let's just X out here and go back into our photos. Now, if you also notice here, it's going to allow me to take a picture from here. So I could right now take a picture of one of those images from my pieces of paper. When Image Stitch was first out, that's how I taught this. I taught you to just print it out on your printer at home and take a picture using this icon here at the bottom. Can you see that? This little icon at the bottom, here I can take a photo, or I can go in and pick something off the camera roll, which, let me zoom out a little bit here, which is this here. So this is take a photo, this is camera roll. So I'm going to go into my camera roll. And again, in the workshop I have coming up, I will be explaining this step by step. All right. So let's just go into the hummingbirds. There's the hummingbirds, and it looks all, scratchy because it's a lot of detail. You have the ability to go in and adjust things here. But when you're working with the app, many times, in fact, every time, it comes in as scatter. So this is probably what you'll see, right, Amy? That's what they're talking about. Okay, that's what you're looking at. And it's because you have multiple different techniques or effects. Now, I'm going to be honest, I rarely use scatter. I use my satin and I use my line art. So let's just see here. We have, let's go into satin stitches. So this obviously is going to be very satiny. And again, the simpler the design, the better. This is picking up all of these extra things. But let's not forget that I can go into my eraser and I can erase some of this stuff here. I'm just using this because it's better than my big finger. But I can erase some of this. And look, this transferred over from when I screenshot it. So let's erase that. So we can erase some of these small things that are, okay, if I erase too much, I just hit the go back. And let's just see how it looks now. Okay, so I cleaned some of that up. Maybe I want to use a bead for the eye. Okay, or maybe I want to switch it from satin back into line art. And this is what it's going to look like. And again, I can go clean all this up just by hitting the erase and tidying this up a little bit so that I don't have quite such busy. So, you know, just think simple. Simple is really the key for the projects that I'm showing you. Okay, and then once we like it, we'll hit the check mark. And there it is. Now, I certainly could go into my erase, and if I only want one hummingbird, I could erase this whole hummingbird, right? I could erase the whole thing. And now I've just got the one hummingbird, okay? Just like we did for that half a flower. But because you have choices in the stitch effect, that's this little drop down here, because you have choices between to pick that scattered look, the satin stitch look, or the line art. And again, everything I'm showing you today is done in the line art. Then those are the adjustments you'll make. And then you also have the adjustments here, which are actually adjusting the image. And that can also affect your end result as stitches. But truly, what you see on the screen is how this is going to stitch out. So that will allow you to go in and clean things up pretty easily. But again, when it comes to images, think simple, okay? All right, so let's go back to the other screen. We'll head back over there. Are we good to roll through some more?
Yes, we sure are.
Okay, great. All right, so I've got a lot to show you, so I'm going to pick up the pace a little bit because I have 15 minutes on the clock-ish, right? Okay, so again, I just want to show you, this is back when Image Stitch. I just printed this off. I took a picture of it with the tablet right from the app. And this is what I got. I was able to resize it. I did an organza raw edge applique, and I just filled it with flowers from my machine. So it's, you know, another way of using your clip art. And I have another vase I'm going to show you too, easy. This again was clip art with some of your colored pencils. Okay, and again, we were able to do it in different sizes just by using the resize. So if I bring this into the app and I bring, let's see, that small bicycle into the app, the more white background around your image, the smaller the default design is going to come in. With less white, if you were to do a screenshot and you were to trim all this white back from your image, the bigger the image will come in. Okay, just another idea. Here we just drew this real quick and brought it in, made a little wreath out of it. And we have some paper. Right? Cardstock. The trick on paper, I feel works for me, is a mesh stabilizer on the back. So you could have even a child do some drawings and then they could color it, or you could color it, stitch it out, put mesh on the back of your cardstock. This is a little greeting card. And then I just covered it with another piece of cardstock. And now we have a stitched greeting card. I have made patterns with it. You could take a picture of a pattern. So here is the, design. You also could create this by adjusting control points in Applique, but you could take a picture. This is now the pattern for the flap on a bag. Okay, and just to show you, there it is. Okay, and we'll take that away. So we're creating patterns. This is I don't know if you noticed, and I'll show you this in a minute. There was a swirl that I drew, and I wanted to create some chenille flowers. This was a sampler series. So I just drew a swirl. I drew these little leaves and stems, brought them into photo stitch, layered cottons in my hoop, and I was able to create this chenille effect, these fuzzy raw edges. And I did that using just a quick doodle on a piece of paper. Here, this is a project that's upcoming. I created these flowers with buttonholes. These are covered buttons with embroidery. This was done with handwriting in the app with satin stitch to make it a little bit bolder. But I also needed leaves for my three-dimensional flowers, and I wanted some of these extra little designs in here. So you could draw those, bring them in, resize them, line them right up in the shape creator. So it just lines them all up perfectly. And here I've added some little mini designs on here. These were just hand drawn in the app. Okay, let's see here. Design templates. Let me get to that in a second. Let's just do this here. I pulled up a stitch on the machine and I took a picture of it with my camera on my phone. And this is the sewing machine stitch. Okay, this is a maxi stitch. It's built onto the machine. I have it colored here so it shows up so you could see it's a maxi sewing machine. It's not embroidery, it's a sewing machine stitch. But when I pulled it up on my screen, I took a picture of it with my phone and I brought it into photo stitch. And now this is tone on tone, but you can see here, this is how big it is. And I've done multiple sizes. Okay, you can see the big and the little here. That's the same sewing machine stitch, only because I had a picture of it, I was able to bring it into the app and make it big. Now, this is ideal for a quilt motif. All right, now, this is something I did on Fonz and Porter. If you saw that episode, we created all of these stitches. Of course, it was probably image stitch by then. The border is also all stitches that I colored in with colored pencils, but I wanted to make these individual motifs. And here's that same stitch I just showed you, right? In this is that same sewing machine stitch, but all of this, I just loaded up my hoop, stitched it out and just so you know, the stitches they're like between a double and a triple stitch. They're pretty, well, here you can see on the back, just so I can show you on the back. So they're substantial. They show up beautifully. Okay. And remember I said, do you remember that little flower on my table stand or that little leaf on my table stand? I actually was working with a Tula fabric, and here's that same leaf. But if you notice, I just traced one of the leaves in the off the fabric. I just traced it. And you know what I did is I put the fabric on my tablet, served as a light box, and then I put a piece of paper on top of that, traced these little leaves right off of the fabric, and then I turned them into embroidery designs. These are my quilt motif designs. So easy, right? Okay. And I have to show this just because it's got to be 20 years old. So back in the day, probably more, probably 25. Back in the day, we were, I was stitching, made this quilt for one of my girls. Of course, they never got it. I still have it. But I wanted to create my own appliques. So here I did some raw edge applique just by tracing the embroidery design. Okay, and here we have some singles. So I created those the manual way. Here we go. And I also, which is not going to show up real well, but I also created a pattern for, okay, there's the long applique, and I created a pattern for a quilt, excuse me, quilt stencil. Hard to see there, but all of this now I could do right in the Photo Stitch app. Okay, here we go. And they pulled all this down. I'm going to jump over to my, I designed this new workshop. The registration is opening today, but I am so excited about it because I am completely hooked. Number one, it's unlimited opportunity for all different shapes using this app. And number two, it's just so scrappy. So you can see the flower over here behind me is all created using the Photo Stitch app. And this is what I'm calling e-collage because it's embroidered collage. Now, the beauty of it is that once I design this, or once I take a clip art, or once however you want to get the image, here it is. I stitch it. Now this is my pattern. So I'm going to be able to take all my scraps of fabric and I can collage this because here it is already on my background. I don't have to trace it. Of course, if it's a dark fabric, it's really hard to trace anyways. And you have unlimited patterns available to you. Just to show you, here I did collage. Okay, this is just a simple basic circle. These dragonflies, I've got a real easy technique for the wings. And then here's that flower in the corner, but it's all fabric collaged with scrap fabrics, just like you see the flower in the background. But all of these were images that I either doodled or found free clip art for. Here is a collection of, and again, these are all resized, but it's all these fabric scrap. I've got a real simple way of making the vases. That's just a cutting technique on paper and then bringing it into the app. So again, we've got collaged backgrounds. This guy is, okay, I'm doing some free motion. Now, a lot of people are not nuts about free motion, but I love I'm doing the matching threads so that the fabrics stand out. But a lot of people don't like free motion. So what I designed was this technique where you would, okay, and this is done, this technique. Okay, does that flower look familiar? Okay, and then we have this guy here. Oh, this guy here. So what I do is I stitch him out in the hoop. Here he is. I leave it in the hoop. I leave it in the hoop. I create my collage, and then I restitch the design over top of it. So now I don't have to free motion anything, right? Here he is. I don't have to free motion a thing because the stitching is already done for me within that original design. Okay, easy, easy, right? Now this, if I can get all this on camera for you, this is 9 different blocks. I'll get it going the right way. Lots of different techniques here. Did some background stitches here from the sewing machine. And these are all different blocks that we're going to be doing in the workshop with different techniques. Okay, and just showing you how to put your scraps together. And this guy is our flower that you see in the back. Now, this flower started out as this flower. This is me just doodling. This is the design. Okay, you can see it. And I just kept it in here and did all of my collaging with all of my scraps. And it's in the Grand Dream hoop. Did you notice? Now, if you know anything about the Grand Dream hoop, you cannot bring it all in, right? Because it's going to tell you that it's outside the area. right? Because it can't share the 3 spaces. So the trick is, well, maybe I shouldn't tell you the trick, but what I'm going to be teaching you is cut the flower in half. So, and use that eraser. So erase this side, bring the design over. Erase this side, bring the design over. Match them up. Highlight them both, resize them. So now they will fit in your grand dream hoop. And they are actually 2 different designs. Let's see here. It's hard to, I matched it up. I used my precise positioning and matched it up, but it's a collage. So if you're off a little bit, it doesn't matter. You're covering it with your fabrics. And your fabrics, I'm going to be doing a giveaway over at Embroidery Mom where I'm going to be giving you a whole bunch of starter colors and pieces. And these are all, this is my yellow bag for an example. And it's just yellows. I've got backing on the back, fusible web on the back, and they're ready to just cut out. You can see here all the different, you know, they're just ready to cut. And I'm using a Steam 2 light, so it's tacky. Everything stays in place right on the foundation fabric. And because we are stitching these out in the hoop, it doesn't, you don't have to trace anything. So it doesn't matter that you can't see a pattern, or you can't lay it down on your, you know, lay your fabric on your book or your pattern and trace it, because the machine's going to do it all for you. All right, let's see. Are we getting here? We are getting. So this, my e-collage just went live this morning as a workshop for you to register for. And they have an, as always, we do an early bird special. So you can register. I think it's half price right now. So you can go on and register for that. That's not going to start till November 1st. But we're going to include 40 designs also. So you're going to learn how to create your own, but you're also going to walk away with a whole collection of designs so you can start collaging and stitching right away. And again, multi-size, multi-language. One more thing, Amy, I know I'm running out of time. I want to show them one more thing on how we use photo stitch templates. And if you remember this project, this is a Christmas tree project, but instead of filling it with fabrics, I filled it with designs from my machine, built-in designs. And we have the black version here as well for the holidays. This is on a sweatshirt. And, but I didn't have a Christmas tree shape. So you can bring in a Christmas tree shape. You can bring in, I'm going to show you my Halloween sample here. You can bring in anything, any shape that you want. Oh, I've lost my one other design here. Oh, here it is. You can bring in any shape that you want and create a design template for it. Okay, so this is a fish. Again, you're bringing in a fish. I'm filling it with designs, right? You could fill it with fabrics, of course. Now the e-collage is going to be all how to do different fabric techniques. And this is also, okay, this is a dress form. This is 2 hoopings. It's a dress form and a bottom, but you see how big I got it? And then I just added designs all on it. That's my collage, is this spider web fabric in the background, and then all the different flowers from my machine in Halloween colors, and then of course the stand. That's also on the website as well. But just to give you an idea, if you can download a dress form image and you get it into your photo stitch, it creates a pattern for you to not only stitch on your background fabric, but to design with as well. So it's just amazing the different ways that we can take this. So your free gift for today is this spider web, okay? And it's going to come in the curved version, which is what I'm wearing because I want it to just be a little bit rounder for my crew neck. It's also going to come in the straight version. And you're going to find that on the Embroidery Mom website. And the code is, let's see, all capital letters, MOM, M-O-M, hard to forget, web, W-E-B, one word, MOM web. So what you will do is you will go in and you'll put it in your cart open up your cart. You'll see a little box there for the code. And you'll put the code in there and you'll be able to download both of those in multi-machine formats for free. Okay, we're going to extend that. That code's going to be valid through the weekend, so you can get your Halloween game on, right? Get yourself decorated. And if you have an issue with size, you need me to help you out, resizing to fit your hoop. I was trying to keep it under the 200 millimeters, but if you need something smaller, email me. Let me know, and I'll shoot it over to you I'll convert it and export it in your language in a different size for you. My email is embroiderywithnadine@yahoo. Easy stuff. And that way I can help you out if you need me to resize it or, make that change for you. I am more than happy to do it. So let's see. I'm just going to check my list. Amy, anything before I go through my list just to be sure?
I just want to mention to everybody that I put the link to Nadine's website where you can get the design in the description above or below, wherever it is, on both Facebook and YouTube. So if you look in the description box, there is a link or a link to the design. It takes you directly to her website page.
Okay, great. Now, when you get there, you will be in the class and workshop page, which is where the design is. And there will also be the new e-collage workshop is there. If you register for that, for the early bird special, please know that that will not start until November 1st. Create and Conquer, which that'll go into 2026. That will start, we're going to kick that off on Monday. So that's going to start in October and run for the next 9 months. And one thing I want you to know about the workshops is they are timeless. So there is no time limit. You work at your own pace. You will work independently, but you'll have us in this Facebook classroom group to ask questions in real time. And there's no time limit. So the access is unlimited. So there's no pressure. So you could sign up for something now to get the early bird and know you can't get to it until after the first of the year. No big deal. It's going to be there for you, and you will, you won't have that pressure or stress of thinking you have to get things done at a certain time. Okay. So, yeah. So let me just see here. We have over on Embroidery Mom, we will be doing our giveaway we're going to give away a couple sets of starter packets for collage fabrics. We're going to be doing a free tutorial video on how to set up your free photo stitch app, as well as working from a PC and a Mac on how to set it up. I mean, it's really easy, but I know sometimes we're visual and visual is helpful. So I'm going to show you how to set that up, the account on your computer, on your laptop or whatever. And then, so the app is for your phone or your tablet. And then we're going to do the actual site. We're going to download the software, the free software on your laptop or computer. So we have that going on over at Embroidery Mom. I'll also make a note here to do some textile medium demo for you. I'll get that over also on Embroidery Mom. Let's see. So I will also share with you the tips on stabilizing for this project, an easy hooping technique, and some positioning tips also that I thought made life really easy for putting this on a crew neck especially. So I'll share a little video of that for you as well. So I think I got another little pile, but I'm not going to go there. I want to save it. Okay, Amy, because I know we're over. Any other questions, comments?
Just let people know exactly where to find Embroidery Mom. Like I think they're wondering where to find this, like your Facebook group.
Okay, so we have had, we're going on year 10 of Embroidery Mom on Facebook. It's spelled exactly how it sounds, Embroidery Mom. Our website is embroiderymom.com. The Facebook group is free. There's a lot of resources in there. You can go in. We're doing a series now called Project Playback. So if you go in and search that, you will see that we have all sorts of project inspiration posted. Those are all projects I've designed and offered in all the different classrooms. One of the questions that we get a lot, talking too much. One of the questions that we get a lot is, I want to sign up for a classroom. Which one do I sign up for? You know, post it in Embroidery Mom, email me. I like to know what your experience is, what machine you're working on. I'll guide you as to what I think is the best route to go. The classrooms that we taught and that I design are timeless. So even though it may have come out in 2019, all the projects are still up. The videos are up step by step. You can follow along right on the screen of your machine with me, especially if you're working on an Icon 1 or an Icon 2. We have had people in there with other makes and models and have adapted pretty nicely. So they're timeless. So there isn't anything on my website that expires or is out of date. Everything is still available. Okay, so Embroidery Mom on Facebook is the free group. And then the website will get you the whole list of classes. Embroidery with Nadine at Yahoo is how to access me personally in an email that I can get back to you on. And yeah, you'll see all sorts of things. We've got the new Create and Conquer that's starting next week. The jacket is going to be the first project in there. You can make it on a tote bag. It doesn't have to be on a jacket back. You know, and I always say too that when you're following along, you know, everything that I design is meant to help you master your machine. So if you don't want to put it on the back of a jacket, if you just want to learn how to make these flowers, how to bring this into your hoop, how to split your designs, you may apply that to your next quilt project. It's all about you learning the screens of your machine and mastering things. And one of the biggest things I get from people of other machines that are in the classrooms is it forced me to get on my machine to see if I could do that. So it's also taking you out of your comfort zone. And that's you know, the way you're going to learn your machine. And again, I don't do stuff on the software. Everything I create, all my samples are right from the app, right? I keep a mirror image, so I keep doing this, but they're right from the app, or they are right on the screen of the machine. So that's, you know, that to me is the exciting part, because these machines can do so much. And I feel like I just know from being a dealer, if you don't have that kind of push or nudge, you never really figure out all the things you can do with your, you know, your beautiful machine. So that's what we're about. That's what MOM stands for, by the way, is mastering our machine, right? So yeah, there we go. So how do we do, Amy? We're good time-wise? I'm only over less than 10 minutes over.
You did great, Nadine.
You know I can keep going. No, I won't. Is there anything else that anybody wants to see within the app or any other questions? Again, if you have questions, you're watching this recorded session. This session will be on Facebook for 30 days. You can watch the recorded session on YouTube indefinitely. But again, write your comments and your questions right here in the feed. If it's something you want to talk to me personally about, then you just email me, embroiderywithnadine@yahoo. Okay, so otherwise, please say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I love your feedback, and I just, let's face it, I love talking to creative people, right? Did we not talk about that earlier, Amy? I don't get enough of that. Nobody in my house creates, they just cook, which isn't a bad thing either, right? So I think we are good. Are we good, Amy? Are we still there?
We are good. We're saying goodbye right now.
Okay, good.